Welcome again, everyone. Jerry's Old Guy Review and the Atlas 4x4 Rock Hobby FMS is done. And I'm going to tell you, for very low dollars, this vehicle kind of blew me away a little bit. I'm drinking an adult beverage and it was delicious. So, I'm not going to get into everything we did initially. The biggest thing was the Dorman body spacers for 1-to-1 trucks, the Axial AX30103 Icon shocks, 61 to 90 millimeters. So when I get to this, I didn't use the shocks that came, or the springs that came with it. I used some Axial soft white. What numbers were those? Just in case, you guys may want to find those again. Let me perusal my book real quick. They are part number AX30206. I do believe that they were available on the original SCX-10-2s. I have the Wrangler kit. I believe it was like a, what the heck year was it? Where is that box? Let me look at it real quick. It was the 2012 Jeep Wrangler. There it is. From Axial. Now, very cheap. I spent a total of, I believe, I use my discount at work, so without the discount, 2 boxes of the Dorman body spacer kit, which, again, I don't remember where I even hung it. So, again, not going to go through all that. I did it in the video, the earlier video. Gave you all the part numbers for everything. So, boom. I gave you kind of a heads up. But let me just, for any of you who have the Atlas, and you know what would happen with your Atlas in stock form. Now, let's just watch the rear end and see all that travel. So I used, what do I want to say I used? I think I used just 50 weight shock oil. Maybe less. I didn't write it down, which I should because I'm getting old. When we started with this truck, it was 5 pounds, 11.9 ounces. Now it is 7 pounds, 7.4 ounces. So a good amount of weight just with mainly the wheels and tires, which I showed you that. I have the spare as far back as I could. And I'm going to tell you, I've been driving this outside, and these fake high racks, which look how squinchy they are now. These fake high racks have tackled things outside driving around in the snow, 30 degrees, 20 to 30 degree range so far. Cleaned off a bunch of rocks last weekend out on the course. Made sure, drove around to get these tires cold. These fake high racks, which it's a big thing for me, how they perform in the summer, but also how they perform in the winter. And so far, my one really challenging point that only the Jeep Gladiator running high racks and the Red Cat Gen 8 running J Concepts landmines are the only vehicles that have made it up the difficult part in the back. This truck, right up it. My staircase, right up it. What a difference. Just some shock hoops and some different shocks made. The weight, I'm sure, helped a bit. So, just to recap, we're going to drive it on the indoor course. And actually, let me look. It's getting pretty dusky. I may have to revisit an outside, maybe tomorrow. But under the hood, so to speak, I took everything apart. Everything has been greased. So let's go over here real quick. Nothing new under the hood. I've got my little 2-cell battery in there. There's the shock hoops. Nothing really done in here other than lubing it. Now, huge complaints on the electronics. You know what? With a controlled finger, not too shabby. You know, it's not perfection. It is not even close to a 1080. But being a 1060, that is right? Is that what I told you guys before? Oh, it's a 1040. So it's even less than the 1060. But been trying it, been tweaking on it. Thought I'd give it a little bit of a different look than a lot of them. You know, we covered. There's everything installed. There is my cleaned up aluminum that is all dented and dinged like it is being used. Covered the shocks, covered all of that. Did a little bit of differential work. Sorry, Matt, at the Scale Builders Guild. That circle was too perfect. But a little detail. I don't particularly care for the fact you can't see it as well here. Because of the location of the lower shock mounts, they kind of V a little bit. But, you know, no big deal. It seems to be doing its business. Now, there's that bumper again, all installed this time. Cut the ends off, cut this whole section out. Very good approach angles now, even though it sticks out a bit. You know, the cab still works, but now the front bumper is a lot better. Now, under here, so there's been a lot of different repairs to do something with this. Well, because of the shocks, it changed the geometry. So basically what I did, so the pitman arm and the steering arm have a 3mm nut on them. And I also put an extra spacer here. So we raised everything up, gave a little bit of extra distance, so when we bottom out completely, I'm doing it sideways. So we bottom out completely, it doesn't hit on the diff, nothing up top hits. We just played with geometry. You know, there's a little bit because we took this upper link out over here on the, what side would that be? The passenger side. You know, I am not an expert on the 3 links, but I looked at where the pitman arm is, where the mount is, compared to all my other crawlers. And on the right-hand side, if the pitman arm mounts to the axle on the left-hand side, that's the side that you kept the link. Vice versa, if it mounted on the right-hand side, I would have kept that one. So right now, let's do a little over here. Doop-a-doo. So right now with the geometry, pumpkin sits perfect. And almost perfect straight up and down. If you look at the screw on the bumper right here, almost perfect straight up and down. So I think I guessed the geometry correctly. And nothing binds, nothing hits up top. That was what I heard a lot of complaints about with the Pitman arm. So I'm hoping now, because we've lengthened this a bit, that it's going to take some stress off of it. Maybe it's not going to be as crappy as everyone said it was going to be. I did not cut these loops off because there's nothing up front here. I'm thinking about putting some D-clips there, or D-rings for, towing or whatnot. Not a lot of anything back here. I was thinking about trying some stuff on that, but we'll put the trailer hitch on it and see. But right now the approach angles are pretty good. So that's something to talk about. Let's drive it on the course, and if you want to, you can watch the video of the very first one I drove, and now we're going to watch and see the articulation in action. Stand by. Okay, well, I'm trying this new camera mounted to the radio kind of thing to see how it works. And Yowie, of course, has to be in the middle of it. Yeah? All right. Now, whoa, geez, what's going on? Oh, Yowie. You were right in the way. I couldn't see. Let's see. Can we save this? Can we try the foot? Look at this. Articulation. Okay, we needed the foot of God. Now, that is the one thing, the low speed control is non-existent with this 1040, or the drag brake going down. It either is fully on or fully off. So there is articulation. And now it managed to make it up this last time. Yowie, you are just in the way. Get out of the way. Sorry, guys. But for those of you who wanted to see more dogs, there you go. Now, I just took a horrible line. I'm doing nothing but dragging. So we're going to go back to the lineup minus Yowie. And you will stop trying to push my hand. I'm trying to drive. Now, I will tell you that my surface here is like this. It's sliding right off again. Rear axle's hung up. This course is dependent on the line. And the last time we just forced it. I'm trying to creep it. Yowie! And if you don't creep it through that little depression at the bottom, that's where that rear diff has got to go. And see, right on. Now this isn't necessarily the truck's fault. This is going to be detrimental to every truck that drives this. And as you saw the first time this went on here, it did. I had to fight it, but I got it on. See, I just almost did. And this is why this was built for the Versus Challenge, not so much for this, but it is an excellent tire tester. You see, just like this, right there, rear diff, hot. Oh, gee, oh. Oh, what just happened? What? Did it get over it? I guess it did. Look at that. Oh, it did. It got off it. Now this for the Versus Challenge, but look at that for any of you who own this. Look at the articulation. And see, again, this is one of my thrills, is driving a straight axle just for that. It is more challenging to drive than a Portal. Well, now here's a good view. Just about off. That's just about off. Oh, how about that? Fell right over. You know, we're going to eventually test it without the tire on the back to see how it may or may not do. But for low dollars, DIYers, that's just a few bucks, things I had, of course. I'm sure there's not a lot of you are just going to have, geez, terrible filming this. You're not going to have a set of, you know, axial shocks just laying around. A lot of us will. So there it is for everybody who's been wanting to see it. Next time you see it, we're going to be outside. So let me know what you think. Give me the crap about the other side of the course. And I will talk to you on the next one.